If people just want, instant, they think they want instant, as soon as they have an idea, they want it. They think that's the way they want it. It takes a long time to figure out that's not actually the way you want it. You like to grow and change and figure things out and have surprises and turnarounds and still make it and all this crazy stuff. But they want it now, which is one of the reasons why if a person sees someone who's genuinely happy, if they're aware enough to know that they're really happy, they're not faking it, they're not just happy because of this or that, they're happy because they grew to happiness themselves and they're just running off of that and not needing outside things. When they see that and they're, well, you got what I want, you got happiness, how the fuck, what do you have, what are you doing? Well, it took lots of years, but I had to dissipate all my thought systems. I had to quiet my mind for many, many months in a row. Not straight, obviously. 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute meditation sessions. I had to figure out who I really was. I had to look at my whole past life and figure out what was going on. I had to learn about my feeling body. I had to learn about momentum, the universe. I had to learn its reality is weight. Anyway, it can go on forever, right? And this is years and years and years. From around 26 or so, 27, when I started kind of like, wait a second, reality is different than what I thought it was. And all the way up to now, 42, and I'm walking around just happy. And I might not have all the things you think I need to have this happiness, but someone who's aware can see it's real, true, high frequency happiness. And I'm like, well, how can I get it? Or he's like, how can I get it? Well, I just told you, it takes a long time. You see me now with a finished product, not even a finished product, but like with a little stability and momentum under my belt. Everyone's different. They can take different times, and you're on a different path, and you want to learn different things. But so that immediately shuts them down, because they just want to be like, they want you to tell them, look, I did this, this, and this. Go out and buy this, do this. You'll be happy. They want it like that, and then they can go and do it, and they'll be happy. Or they want you to tell them something, they can just be like, oh, but you tell them the real thing, and it's like this happiness that I have that eludes most of you is years and years and years in the making, trying to figure this stuff out. Trying drugs, because I noticed way back when that a lot of people who seem smart and know this stuff, all the videos, I'm talking about, old school guy like Terrence McKenna, they're all about the drugs. Not that they're about the drugs, but there's drugs involved. So I was straight edge until like 22. Imagine like family and thing when I changed. Well, big change with alcohol, and that was just kind of depression through other stuff. But alcohol, I won't say it led me into drugs, but it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. Anyway, all these years of figuring this stuff out, what works, what doesn't work, what's actually going on, and I come to the conclusion, obviously, we are all source energy, we are all God, we are all frequency, vibration, we are this reality. We're not in this reality like a marble in the box. We are the marble and the box and the space around the box, and outside that space there's nothing, because we're the only thing. So I learned all this shit, and you don't need to go that far to learn to focus on your frequency and how momentum works and how you can build momentums and how cycling works of your segments. Your segments is this cut any portion of your day. You have your morning segment, your coming into work segment, or you can cut it into 2 segments, your sleep, whatever. You can do whatever you want, but your segments, they cycle back and they'll let you dissipate or add momentum, and the tool is focus. And so I can't explain this all to them like this. They'd already go glossy-eyed and walk like, okay, never mind. I'll just be sad the rest of my life. But it doesn't. I can't just tell you, hey, you're God, be happy. No, you have to go through it yourself. You're not going to take someone else's word for it. I did not. I was a straight edge person. No drugs, no alcohol, no anything. And life was real life. I didn't believe that anything was possible. I was a human living real life. And since that's what I was brought up in, that's what I naturally believe, because that's the way things seem to be. It came to coax your belief to go that route. Once your belief gets going that route, real life will get denser and harder. I don't mean harder as in difficult to do. that depends on you, but like just a real reality, and things don't seem, it just seems way different. Anyway, so I went from that. Somehow, I don't know if it was through learning guitar and seeing Hendrix or Morrison mixed with weed and alcohol, some kind of slow mix of that let me know that universe is something's different. Like there's way more going on here. And so I would go to the library and try to find rent little physics books, look up a double slit experiment, read all this physics stuff. All right, yes, it's definitely. Then I found a picture of the universe zoomed out, and it just looked like exactly like a brain cell. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, make them go. And then I came into it more like a scientist, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, right? And it led me all the way till we create our own reality, and that's what's going on. But I had to go through 3 years of trial and error, trying to figure it out. No, well, it can't be that. Let's try this out. Or let's listen to fucking 10 more days of whoever I was listening to. We gotta figure this out. It doesn't seem right. I can't get it to work. It doesn't work. You always try to. You expect it too fast. You don't understand how much momentum you got built up that you gotta dissipate. And you expect to learn about reality creations, go to an Abraham seminar, and then manifest your $1 million. You expect it to be like that, and it's not like that unless you happen to be the kind of person that's just believes exactly what someone tells them, just takes it and believes it. No one's like that, really, unless you're a little kid. No one's like that. I just had a weird thought that was creepy. If people mass collecting kids because they believe stuff easily, like young kids, and then making them believe something, and a mass thing to affect the reality of the planet. That's a creepy thought. Why would I think that? I wonder if it's already happening. Nah. Anyway, that was weird, right? So, these thoughts are just coming. So yes, I'm genuinely happy. And I really love my life. I like my job. I like where I looks like I'm headed. And I also like the fact that it can be a complete turnaround, jackknife surprise, and something else can happen in my life. I like the fact that I'm so free right now. No kids. No debt. No house. No yard to upkeep. Barely any bills. I love it. Now, here's the thing. You grow the love first, and then your life turns out that way. And the better you can do it, the better. If you can only grow your love a little bit, and most of the time you need things to make you happy, well, then you have a mixed bag, and your life will turn out that way. And it also depends on what your core beliefs are, what you really believe. You gotta find out what you really believe. So, if you come and ask me, well, how you get the happiness? You see how long it takes for me to explain to you? I can just go on forever. There's so much. I probably only explain 5% of it, because every time I talk about it, there's more aspects to how I was learning it that you would need to sit down and just talk with me alone with some weed, and we would need to spit back and forth to see if I can get you to understand. But so they don't want to hear that. They want the quick fix. They want the give me $500, I'll be happy for a little bit. They want the suck my dick, I'll make me feel good. They want the this, the that, they just want the thing so they can feel good, and they go around, and this is not bad, this is human living at that level, grasping and searching for the next thing, the next coffee, the next candy bar, the next approval from a higher up or something, like praise, the next compliment, the next being left alone. Maybe they just want to fucking be alone. The next whatever it is you think is gonna make you feel happy. It could be you just want to be alone, don't want anything. All you want is peace and quiet. That's the same thing. It's like, give me the peace and quiet, and then I'll be peaceful and quiet. No. You grow the peaceful and quiet in you, and your life will start to show you peace and quiet. It's a mirror. So if you're just wanting peace and quiet but don't want to do what actually works and just grasp, well, it's a mirror. The universe is going to be like that with you. Okay? But I can't say all this. So what did she say? Hey, you have what I want. You have happiness. You have genuine happiness. You don't need anything to be happy unless you count. I like to focus on my happiness, so I would need my focusing apparatus. you want to get really nitpicky. But with my beliefs about what the universe really is, I'm starting to believe that you don't even really need that, obviously. Yeah, we'll not go down that route just now, but the way I feel it, you don't even... Anyway. It was long many years. I didn't just, I was fucking... from 22 to like 35, just fucking up my life, drinking and trying to do this music thing. But I was just so much drinking and drugs. Not even really hard drugs. Weed and then spice was probably about the hardest I did on the regular. So I didn't. And whatever hallucinogenics I could get on that wasn't the mushrooms that I wanted to get or whatever. I would find whatever because I wanted to see what these people were talking about. So I would look. This is how you can do it. I'm doing that. And I tried lots of things, and some of them worked. I had a lot of weird experiences on certain things. I don't think I've ever told about the experience with me and my cat. I used to have a cat, and I was on cough syrup, I think. I found the car syrup that doesn't make your stomach hurt and had the ingredient in it that was a hallucinogen. Now, what that is, once you have to drink the whole bottle, and it's... But here, I'm a scientist. I'm fucking figuring out what these people are talking about. I had to. I couldn't get my hands on the other shit. And it takes about an hour or two to kick in. And it will take you, especially if you just close your eyes, silent darkness, just let it take you. You'll have some hallucinatory ticks, but I had one where a whole experience was just a mandala, some kind of, energetic circle with design. It looked like a purplish, whatever, but my cat was in the room with me, and I felt like the cat and me were in there together, I could feel the cat in a way we were communicating while I was seeing this in a way that I couldn't quite understand, but I knew it was happening. And it was trippy and cool, and I felt like me and the cat had a weirder and better relationship after that also. I don't think I've ever told that one to anybody before. I couldn't do the cough syrup too much, because once you do it once, you can't do it again for forever. Keeps you off it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as strong. Almost immediately. You have to wait. I had to wait. Try to force myself to wait a month or two. But so it's not really reliable. But I had a few eye-opening experiences, enough to say, okay, there's something to do with drugs and reality, and it could just be that the drugs are making you make this rally this way. But I listened to enough Terrence McKenna where I know that's hocus pocus. And so here I am researching and everything. Now all the drugs dropped away except for weed. Weed is the only thing I do now. That's the one that stuck. Obviously. And through all this experimenting, I can only tell you so much. I did so much experimenting, trying to figure this stuff out. So many nights, drunk nights, high nights, listening to music, scouring the internet for just the one last recording to let me get the final secret. Must have listened to 5,000 Abraham videos. Must have listened to every Terrence McKenna video you can find on the internet. I've had to listen to it. I don't think there's any out there that I don't have, unless it got posted recently. Because I don't really listen to any of those guys anymore. They're tools. They don't want you listening. Like Abraham doesn't want you to come into her seminars all the time. She's like, hey, you learn it, then get the fuck out of here, right? They're tools. So I dropped. I don't need to listen to them anymore. I'll post the stuff that I know is true to my heart and on my page, and I've listened to all this stuff years ago, but now I've learned what it had to teach me, so I just post it for other people who might stumble across it. Anyway, all this to try to tell you how I've learned to be happy, and it's still way more. It's so simple but so tricky. And if you don't want to put some actual self-work and look at yourself and try to figure out what your belief systems are and all this. And even before that, you might not even know things like belief systems and belief structures and all this stuff. So first, you gotta figure that out and learn about that so you can believe that, or you're not gonna be fully into it. If you don't really believe what you're doing and you're trying to do it, it's not. You gotta do the research. And so I had to do the research until I proved it that, okay, believe it enough to let me wholeheartedly give it a wholehearted try. to meditate and to do stuff for what I wasn't gonna do. Meditation, that's hocus pocus stuff. Back in my day, when I was 15, 20, I would have meditate. You weird ass bitch. Here I am now. Time to tell you, meditation works, and it's a tool. You don't want to be meditating forever. Some people go down that path, and all they do is sit and meditate. They miss the point. They miss the point. They're doing the same thing they always do, and they're using meditation instead of pizza. You know what I mean? No, it's a tool to figure something out. If you're still meditating all the time, unless you're getting something out of it, but if you feel like you're trying to get, but you're not quite getting it, and you just gotta, no, you use it to figure something out. You figure out, what did you figure out? It's something to do with your thoughts, what they actually are, and what silence can do if you let it grow. And there's more than one thing it does. And figure it out for your fucking self by doing it. And my first few meditation sessions, I do my research before, so I know it's about quieting your mind. You can focus on something, whatever, watching your thoughts like clouds going to the sky until you realize your thoughts are just like clouds. They're not your thoughts, they're just like clouds going to the sky. But at first, it's just me trying to quiet my mind, realizing that I kind of suck at it. Like, I'm quiet, and then I'm thinking about something. I'm quiet, then I'm thinking about something. I'm fucking gonna do it this time. I'm quiet, then I'm thinking about something. So it's like, I don't have control over my mind at all. And I thought I did. You don't realize that until you try to silence it. Because you just think you're thinking of stuff, right? Life's happening, and you're thinking of stuff. This is me. I'm thinking of stuff. No. It's coming into you out of past frequencies, momentums, and all this shit. And until you try to have a quiet mind, you realize you don't control your mind, at least not in the way you thought you did. You can't control it, but you gotta get the horse in front of the car. You're trying to wag the fucking dog with the tail or whatever, you know what I mean? It takes longer than you think it does. And by human nature, we're always jumping the gun a little bit. I know I do. I always think I'm slightly better or even more advanced than I think I am. And then as a year goes by, I'm like, oh, now I'm at that point where I thought I was. You know what I mean? So that's part of slowing down and just all that kind of stuff. But it's not a quick fix. No one's gonna, if you have never gotten into this stuff before, just barely even open your eyes to spirituality. I'm just using these words. It's just real human experience. It's just the real experience of being the experience. It's not spirituality. It's not this, not whatever. If you're new to it, someone's not going to just be able to tell you. Someone might have the conviction and confidence like I do in the moment when I'm telling you that this is true, and like Esther does. And in the moment, you might be able to like, yeah. But as soon as you go back to your regular day life, you're not going to feel that. Gotta have something show you enough to where you're going to do the work. You're going to spend 15 minutes a day meditating. 15 minutes a day for 3 months. If you can't put in at least that amount of discipline, you're not going to get very far. And the reason you need to put, I don't like the word discipline, but the reason you need to put discipline is at the level that you're at. At that level, you need the discipline. You need to sit 15 minutes a day. Force yourself to do it because you're not motivated. Unless you are. You're not inspired. Probably not. So you need the discipline. Just do it. Because if you do it, there's a chance you might learn something. 1 month go by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by. Have you learned anything? Anything at all? Maybe you're just a little more slow and relaxed. All right, good. 3 more months. 3 more, do it again. Learn this. Prove it to yourself. At least that you don't control your thoughts like you thought you did. At least prove that to yourself. And then, it's like a little pinprick. Prove it to yourself, and then it starts leaking truth. A little pinprick. You got this little leaking truth that's always leaking, and it gives you more chance to pick another pinprick. Try something else. Research some stuff. Listen to somebody. Try anything. If you're tired of manipulating people, putting up boundaries, but in a different way than someone who's healed, it's like survival. It's like trying to be independent on your own, but also needing to use other people, but trying to do it without them knowing what's really going on. Or maybe you're nicer than that and you kind of are straightforward with it. Because just in one instance of like a relationship, people who are naive think, relationships are only two people falling for each other in a relationship. No, no. Marriage wasn't even made. Romantic marriage didn't even come around to recently. Marriage was always this family, and this family will go good together. It'll help everyone out. And then if the two people kind of were into each other, that was a bonus. This kind of thing, you know what I mean? But it wasn't. It was different. And then I think what, 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, something like that. It started being romanticized as a union of this and that, and love, falling in love, and I'd die for you, and all this kind of stuff. It wasn't like that at first. So relationships have a lot more than just that. But I'm a romantic at heart, and I know the way I feel, and I know that it is that, but it also can be two people. I don't like using the word falling in love, but I use it because people will understand what I mean. Falling in love with each other. Don't use that because that's giving your power to the other person, and it can work if two people actually fall in love with each other at the same time, which usually doesn't happen. Usually someone's using somebody, and they're smart enough to play along, and maybe they really like them too as a person, but they're really using them. And there's different levels of pure malice all the way up to just, they know that they're helping each other out, and everything in between. But there's also just falling in love. Now, if you're doing it the old school way, you're giving your power to the other person because you're falling in love. The feeling of love that you're feeling, you're making it them that's doing it to you. You look at them, you feel it. You have them they're yours. You feel it. You're giving your power to them. Now, if both people are doing it, both people fall in love, and she's giving her power to you, and you're both doing it. That can work. You don't really want to do it that way because anything can rock that boat, but that could work. But most of the time, one person's head over heels, the other person knows it. Now, put any other scenario onto that as you can. Any level of malice to just trivial, just not to lightheartedness, but there's just so many reasons people are together. People get controlled by their parents. That's whatever. There's infinite reasons. But someone who no longer falls in love, but has shown them enough segments, enough growing momentums in those segments that they create the love themselves, and they walk around with that. Now you don't run the risk of falling for someone and there was all your power. Your power's here, and you look at someone, you're like, if they're vibrating at that kind of somewhere near that frequency, or if they're a mixed bag but they're at that frequency enough, you'll look at them and you just want them. It's not the same. You're just like, look at you. You'll want to just be with them, to devote. It's different. It's not like you're not giving your power away. You're there. You know that your power is there, and you're feeling your love when you look at them. But their frequency's near you, and you like looking at them. And so that probably means you'll like being with them. Now, this is only if you have been down this path of already figured yourself out, because you can get trapped in thinking that this, and you're just giving them your power again. You gotta have some discernment in that, and the only way to do that is to go through lots of crushes and falling for people, and then getting to the spiritual journey and figuring out that it was always the feeling, the connection was always you, and you were unaware, ignorant. You're ignorant. Nothing wrong with being ignorant. It just means you don't know. You haven't had enough life experience to teach you. So it's different when two people who have their own light choose to come together, because they don't need anybody, but they want to with a fervent passion. It's almost need, but they know they don't need anybody because they know they built their light. They have that experience within them that they know, but they want them, and that's what you want. You don't want someone who needs you. No. You think you want that when you're at a lower frequency level. You think you want that because it seems important. It seems like they need you. They do anything for you. They really love you, You don't want that. You don't want someone who needs you, because what if something happens, and what if you take your love away for a second? What if you're just not there, and they need you? Then they're fucking distraught. And you don't want someone who's dependent on you like that. You do not. You want someone who has their own love, who've been through the journey. So you know when they're looking at you, you're going to be loved. You're going to be cherished. You're going to be just appreciated so fucking hard. Because this person does it every day. And they know what appreciation is. Anyone else who doesn't do this self-work, talking about appreciation and loving one another and all that stuff, they might really want to believe it. They mean it. But they're not doing it. Not in the way that's actually energetically efficient. But it's actually real. You have to love yourself first. Then when you look at that person with that experience of 50 days, 10 years, 30 years under your belt of loving yourself, whatever it is for you, they'll feel it. And it will be real. And if you around them enough, then when other people come around with, I want to say fake love, but it's not their fault. They don't know. They don't know. They'll be able to discern it. But no. I've felt real love before from his eyes. What you're doing is fake. It could be fake because you're manipulating me, or you just don't know about growing to love, and you have no idea yourself. So there's no harm. You just don't know. It takes life experience to figure it out. So you don't want someone that needs you. You do not. You think you do. It feels good if you have a hole in you that you haven't figured out how to fill, and you have something that needs you, be it a pet, family member, spouse, whatever, and they need you. And you take that away, you'll feel lost. Kids move out of the house, and you haven't found your own self, you're going to feel lost. You better get some cats. Kids move out of the house, and you figured out your own self, you don't feel the loss. You are inspired to let them, you just want to watch them blossom, because that's what you practice, your own. All those kind of frequencies, they kind of right there with each other, 27 minutes. It's just supposed to be about what? People who don't want to take the long road. They just want you to tell them, this is how I'm happy, and then go and do it. They don't want to. And it's not the wrong choice. Some beings, they want to experience some denser life. Some raw fuckery, until they had enough of it, and they want something more. Like, you sleep on your stomach and it feels good until it's not. And then what do? You sleep on your back. It feels great. What do? You sleep on your side until it doesn't feel good anymore. Then you sleep back to it's the same thing. Once living in this dense reality, once the novelty of not knowing who you are and just fucking around, banging around like it's fun. When you've known who you are for eternity, it's fun. But you get tired of sleeping on your side after a while. You want to do something different. You want to learn how to create reality. How to surf yourself. I can tell by looking at my face in this camera that I have true love. I can tell. I didn't want to say it because it sounds cocky. I can tell just by looking at me, looking at myself, looking at me, that I'm feeling. I have the true love in me. I can just tell. I can tell by the way I feel, but I can take that feeling away and just look at my face right now, and I can just tell. So, you don't want someone who needs you. Here's how it works. You're looking for a relationship, right? If you're a mixed bag, whatever mixture that is of thoughts and what you believe and experiences that happen to you in the momentum, you're a mixed bag, you're really looking for a relationship, you're going to go out there and force it. You can go on dating apps, plenty of fish. Oh God, I've been there like 30 years ago. Not 30 years ago, it would have been like 12, but you know what I mean, a long time ago. Looking for that relationship, you're going to find something, and it's going to be another mixed bag. Perfect match to you. You don't want that. You want to know who you are. You want to be stable, and be stable for a long period of time to work out all the dissipation of the past momentums. And then when you attract something in, it will be someone who's done the same, or has already been there, or someone who you have something that they need, or whatever. But if it's a relationship, you're going to attract not a mixed bag. You're going to attract a stable, glowing, beautiful self, which is what you are. And they'll be different from you, but it'll be perfect for you. Now here's the thing. When you were a mixed bag, you're a piece of shit, or whatever, you attract a piece of shit or a mixed bag. You're a manipulator, you hide, you're scared, you don't know what's going on, you attract someone who's mad at them, just what's going on. Could be good people, right? But real life gets you, right? So you mixed bag, you attract the mixed bag. That is the perfect attraction to you. You may not think not because they turned out to be this and they fucked you over, but when you attracted them, they were the perfect match for you, energetically. Mixed bag, mixed bag. You had this. They had this. You're out there chasing for a relationship. They fucking want to, bam. They don't want to wait till bam. They don't know about any of this stuff. You don't know about any of this stuff. Bam, you're together in a relationship. Boy, it could be bad. It could be good. That's the fun of it. But you get tired of sleeping on your side. Now you want a real thing. So you have to find your real self first, and you did. Well, I'm assuming you did. I did. And so you watch what the universe brings you. The universe ain't bringing anything to you. You don't need anything right now. End of fucking story. And so you walk around with this confidence that other people just don't have. Most people. When they see someone with... Because there's a difference between the confidence when you know that your experience will give you what you need when you need it. Every single time. And only deciding factor if it's good or bad is, do you know that's what's happening or not? That's the key. And so you walk around with this confidence. Ain't no one gonna fucking tell me anything. No one's gonna make me think that I'm not doing a good job. No one's gonna make me think that I'm not worth whatever to whatever. No one's gonna make me, unless they're really clever, and even so still, they'll only get me for a second until I figure out what's going on. No one can get into my confidence anymore. Nobody. And I've never had that before. This is what I wanted when I was first drinking myself to death, learning guitar, and trying to not be shy to stand up and sing in front of people. I was so this is what I wanted right here. And so universe already knew that, already in the plans to bring me to this moment, and I had to go through all that shit. If I ever finish this book and I can remember everything that I've been through, it's just crazy weird shit. And who knows all the shit I didn't remember because I was always fucking drunk. Still keeping jobs, still making money, still never going completely off the end. But oh boy, was I always wasted. Wake up wasted. Be happy that I was still drunk when I woke up. I'm like, yes, I'm still drunk. Let's fend off this hangover. Bring them on. Crack the beers, get the vodka. Pass out, wake up. Fuck, I'm still drunk. Yes! I was, 22 till about... I didn't start that hard at 22, but 22 easing into that level. So about 35, 37, it started winding down. So about 22 to 24, winding up. Then about 25 to 35, fucking shit, crazy. And then from about 35 to 38, so winding down. And then I haven't had a drink for like a year now or so. So I winded down to just drinking a Rocket League by the time I was like 39, 40, 41, 42. Just drinking here and there. Still knowing I was drinking too much, but way less than what I was, so I was like, I'm fine with it, whatever. Give me my still reserves of Rocket League. I don't give a shit, because what I was doing was 20. It was crazy. So, and then, I was just gonna I was at about 40, 41, got a new job or so, around 39, 40, been there 3 years. I'm 42 now, so I got 39 or so. Got a new job, drinking a lot less, more independent because I built this bus. Not completely independent, but showing the universe where I want to go through action. But the spiritual thing had kind of lessened, At this point, I knew that, yes, we do create our reality, but I was almost there, New job. Great, love it. Not really looking for a relationship. It's great. Just kind of winding down from all this shit. I'm not meditating anymore. Not really even listening to anyone anymore. Not even thinking about it anymore. Playing Rocket League. Happy to have a job. What was that episode of my life kind of thing, right? And then I get a crush on a fucking girl again. Out of nowhere. And I've been through this. I know about a crush. So I'm like, all right. In my mind, I'm like, all right. You might be starting to crush on this girl, but don't even worry about it. New job, it's just, don't even worry about it. You're not looking for it. Don't even worry about it. Been relationship free for like 7 years, 6 years. You're not. Been. No! But then the days go by and you're just like, yep. There's always a point where you're in a crush when you're like, yep. It's there. And once you do that, it's all over. So what happened was, nothing came up of this, by the way. Nothing came out of it. I shot my shot, but it didn't pan out. But the catalyst was there. In the moment of time where I thought there was a possibility that a relationship might actually work out, only because I felt so strong, like stronger than anything. It was just so crazy. Like I didn't even understand why. It was so strong. I even told her, I was like, I think you put a spell on me, and I don't even talk like that. I don't even believe in spells or magic in that way. Definitely not then when I said that. Anyway, nothing panned out of it, but it made me feel my connection super strong. And in the past, I would have thought this was me falling in love with this girl, but I knew I'd done enough work that, hey, I'm feeling my connection. And I took that connection and ran with it. From the moment I was laying in my bed excited about maybe this young, beautiful thing might be into me, and maybe she's a good person, I was so fucking happy. But I didn't put it on her. I didn't give her my power. I was like, I focused on it because I've learned that already. I was like, yes, this is it. This is my catalyst. And I focused on those feelings now for a year and 1 month. So, it's been working wonders for me. Now, there was a lot of tug and pull with that, because there was times there was momentum coming to me where I was giving her my power a little bit. But before I reeled it back, but I dissipated that. It took forever. Then I was complete in my own power, and I had ran off with it, and I'm still doing it now. A year and 1 month and I'm still doing it now. And when I feel that same energy that I got then, I make sure to focus on it extra, because I still get it now. In my meditation, smoke weed, I'm feeling good now. It happens just all the time. I focus on it so much. I grab that little, universe is like, we're gonna let you fall for this person. She is not for you, but we're gonna let you fall for her. Okay? That's not true. She could have been for me, apparently. But we're not gonna go on that route. Everyone's allowed to make their own choices and learn their own outcomes. Case and said, now she was not for me. She was a catalyst for me to get back into the spiritual journey. I had rested enough. We need to get back on it. And so that feeling came up. I'm laying in bed just shaking, that excited feeling. Like, fuck yeah, that kind of... You get the memes of people really excited in the bed in the morning. And it's that feeling. And I was just like, yes, hold on to it. And I focused on it. It had to be hours that night when I thought maybe this was going to happen. This is like a year ago. I knew not to let go. Like, this is the feeling. This is pure connection. Focus on it, because I know my focus is going to make this come out in all aspects of my life. So I just focus on it. Just focus. Sat down in the bed. Don't let it wane. Just focus on it. Just literally just focus on what the feeling was. No talks, no talking, no doing it. Just feeling on it. And it will make your body start moving. It will make you start getting... Just focus. I would have looked manic to anyone watching me in my bed for an hour. But I was focusing on my future. That I put so much focus, airtime. You only get the now moment, but it's your airtime. Now. That's all you have. And I spent like an hour or two on it, just focusing on airtime. All you need is like 12 seconds to get momentum going. I just went ham. And now those feelings come up, just walking around. Because I spent a year doing this now. And it's waves, I didn't get that high of feeling back again until maybe like another week or two, and then I got it again. But in between that, I still got good feelings that I would focus on. But when I got that feeling back again, I'll double it up, man. I'll make sure you do not let this feeling go as long as you can. And now, I thickened it up, and now all the good feelings are coming, and now they come on to me. I don't have to focus on them. They come knocking on my door. And they're going to be there if I focus on it or not. You know what I mean? Like, I've been feeling good this whole time, and when I focus on it, I can really feel it. But if I'm just talking and not really focusing on the feeling, it's still there. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where my life has been. 26 up to about 39, trying to figure out this spiritual stuff. I had to leave another relationship. I could feel the distance. It's not where I was supposed to be. I just cannot be there anymore. Nothing wrong with her. She was beautiful. Nothing wrong with her. We just weren't meant to be with each other. I ended up growing a lot while I was with her. So our frequencies, it was inevitable. And I kept growing, all the way up until 39. Kind of waned out. Wasn't listening to Abraham anymore. Wasn't listening to this stuff for a long time. But it was still in my head, and I still believed it. Just didn't quite grok it yet. Hadn't quite enough experience. And then, boom! Universe is like, he's ready. Give him the girl that he's going to fall for. You know what he likes. Give him the girl. He'll fall for her, but he will know what to do. And he will not give her his power like he did all the other times, like everyone's doing on the planet, right? They're like, we trust him. He's got it. He's been like 10 years learning this stuff. He's got it. And boy, I did get it. I didn't do it. So I took a situation that didn't end the way I thought I wanted it, but more experience under my belt, I realized it's the exact thing I wanted. Because when you come into your full self, full confidence, no one can tell you anything. You want a blank slate, freedom, and no attachments, because you're about to go somewhere. You don't want to be dragging a bunch of things with you that did not want to do the frequency work, and so you can drag them with you, but they had just got the ultimate pizza, right? The thing that's going to make them happy. They found a person that has the infinite source in them. So they got their thing to make them happy. Now they don't ever have to do the work for who knows how many generations, you know? They don't have to do the work now. You're not taking those people with you. Damn, that was the universe talking to me right there. Anyway, yeah, I'm not taking those people with me. And it took me a while, because while you still giving someone your power, you feel like you want to take them with you. But while you realize it's your power, no. You want to find a person who has already kind of found themselves or close to the journey, or you want to let the universe bring you what the frequency match you are now at. And that means just relaxing, sitting down, enjoying the show. And people might look at you, well, you still working 9 to 5, all these stuff. But when I'm working, I'm still filled with joy and happiness. It is not work, really. You know, I'm saying, and I got some heavy lifting in my work still, even though I used to have a way more. But my frequency raised. My job's gotten a lot easier. And it may have looked like me applying to a different part of the company or whatever. It starts from within. And it just looks like these things. Alright? Job is a lot easier now. I lift way less. I used to lift so much. But I'm physically in shape and I'm happy. So it wasn't what looks like backbreaking work to somebody watching you. Like, man, I wouldn't want his job. To me, I'm just bipping along because I have the energy of the fuel of source energy, of figuring out who you are. It's different when you're passionate. It's different. And then you don't need a lot of sleep either. I sleep 3 hours, maybe. And I'm outperforming so many people as far as physical labor goes. 3 hours, 4 hours. With maybe a little nap here and there. Doesn't amount to much. 30 minutes tackled in. That's my sleep. 8 hours for people who were lost. 3 hours and little naps here and there for people who are found. You don't need as much when you're running the way your body is supposed to run. So you wait, you get to a point where you finally can truthfully say, finally, okay, the universe, okay, God, okay, source, I'll let you do it. But really, because people say, let joy take the wheel, but they don't. Unless you've been through something similar to what I'm talking about, and you come through these realizations that you are God, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But you finally get there to where anything can happen to you, and you're just like, well, I know that whatever's happening to me needs to happen in this exact way for something. And I don't need to know what. Because I've already had enough of life experience looking back at my own life to know this is true, so I don't need to know anymore. If you need to know what, you don't quite trust. People say you need to trust God, right? If you need to know what's going to happen, is that trusting? No, but it's very hard to get a human who was born into the denseness to trust like that. So I've gotten to the point where, this is very weird, I trust my own experience more than I trust the people in my experience, which is weird because they are the experience. So I need to work on that. Actually, where I think I'm going with it is I don't need to trust the people because I trust source energy, which is controlling all the people anyway. Don't get mad. Source energy, God is controlling you until you figure out how to control yourself. It's just, it works out that it always seems like you have free will. That's the quality of existing anyway, so that might not be right. I think the only quality of existence is that it exists, is existence itself. And then within that, you could have free will or not free will perceptions. Yes, that's better. "46 minutes. Okay, this is a long one, but I think it's got some good stuff in it. And I hate to say it, I'm looking very pretty. I think I look very great. I'm not happy. I'm like looking at myself right now. And see, I've got to the point, people will get turned off by that, right? But this is why I will be able to look at you and really love you, genuinely. And you'll be able to feel it. Why? Because I do it with myself. And the people that don't like that, they haven't figured out how to love themselves. It all makes sense. People that really get offended by me saying, look at how pretty I am, they don't think they're pretty. They don't love themselves. So see, because you can come off and say, oh, I'm pretty, and I cannot love myself and then act like that. And that's different. That will rub people the wrong way, even the ones who are aware. But when you really love yourself, you really look at yourself as the most beautiful gem, the most beautiful creation in existence. And these are all humans, by the way, not just me. But this is the one I'm experiencing, so of course I'm going to love it just a little bit more. It's me. Gotta have it inside you. And then it's different. The people who don't love themselves will still get offended by when you come off of this confidence, knowing you're beautiful. I mean, look at this shit. Look at this fucking shit. Look at it. And then don't make me take out my shirt. Don't. But it's coming from a place of pure love, connection to God. It's coming from that, from me. I'm not just being cocky or like not connected to source and doing this. This is God talking to you. You're God too, so don't get offended, bitch. But you gotta let people run their own course. Some people want to have the experience of not being God. When you are source energy, and you are, always was and always will be, you want to sleep on your stomach sometimes. You want to have the experience of not knowing that. It's all as simple as that. Sometimes you want to sleep on your back. Sometimes it's just you can't get any simpler than that. I am finding. I know I'm going to be in a relationship soon. I don't know who it's going to be, but I know. Blue jay just flew by my window. I'm going to take that as a sign there. I know blue is throat chakra, so my throat chakra is obviously blossoming, flying away like that blue jay. I want nothing more but to take this love that I figured out how to do for myself, while keeping most of it for myself, and then pour it all over somebody. Whoever's gonna be mine. I want nothing more than that. Now, this is a phase, this is a cycle. I'll teach you about cycles here, because an hour from now, 2 hours from now, or maybe I'm just getting off work and I'm laying in bed, I won't feel this way. I'll feel like, I'm just going to stay single. It's a cycle. Which cycle do you want? So when that cycle comes up, are you going to perpetuate it? Do you really want to stay single? This is you figuring out what you want. Keep thinking about it. Or let that go. Don't really think. Don't let that ride too long. And when you have the thought coming up where you really want to pour yourself into somebody because you found the love, you found the gold, and you want to give it to somebody in a mutual transaction. When that phase, when that cycle comes, stay there longer if that's what you prefer. Think about it more. And I do. I can tell. I can see it coming. I'm finally ready for a real relationship. Never was before. Never was. Not one of them. I can go through all the names now. Not one of them. Don't worry, most of them were not long. I only have had one. Shit. One long relationship. 5 years or so. Everything else has just been crushing and dating, moving around, or just kind of like websites, just, like dating websites, but you get jaded and then you're just two people, you try to find people just looking to fuck. Because, you're just looking to fuck now. Relationships, fuck them. Fuck them. But I was never the person to like trick people into that. I would want to find the person who also was just looking to fuck, and we can be on the same page, and there's no like one person is gonna fall for the other person because they thought this was happening. No, we're on the same page. We're just fucking. All right, we're just fucking. But that was a phase. Didn't last long. Because it's empty. You don't like to fuck so much before you realize that you want something a little more. Or what's gonna happen is you're gonna get more. You're just gonna have to do more creative fucks. Like you start being into different stuff that you didn't think you're gonna be into before, because you're trying to fill the hole. No pun intended. With something else instead of figuring out yourself. Now, finally, so I go through the naive phase of crushing and asking people out, I remember in high school finally talking to the girl. Rejected. Nice though. I've never had bad, because I'm sweet. I think they can tell, I'm sure. It must be hard for someone to come up to you and tell them, and then you not be into them, and you have to like let them down. Like, what do you do? What do you say? I would just be blunt. I'm not into you. It's the best way, right? I'm not into you. Well, why? Well, you don't want to go down. Trust me, you do not want to go down. Why? If you don't, trust me, because I will tell you why. You don't want to go there. I will be blunt. That's actually the way I would do it, actually. Probably no one ever approaches me ever. Because I will tell you right to your face, no, I'm not into you. I don't find you attractive, sorry. I wouldn't want to, though. But I'd probably be like, look, I don't want to be rude. Give them a chance to escape now, alright? I don't want to be rude. There's going to be some truth coming here. I'm just not attracted to you. I gotta have that initial attraction. Attraction is very important to me, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And I know it's important to everybody, but most people, they think it should be the other way. And attraction is not everything, but you gotta have that initial attraction. I gotta want to tear your fucking clothes off with my fucking mouth, no matter if you're sweaty or not. I got to want to hold you and kiss you on the forehead. And these are all things that a certain body type and attractiveness to me makes me want to do. And certain, and this is one good thing about the internet, that it can prove to you that there are so many fish in the sea that can give that feeling to you, and you don't have to like latch onto one that you find in real life. You're never gonna find it again. They can be no. So many people out there, and you cut that off though. You cut that feeling off that's true once you give your power to someone like that, and you fall in love. Because you're feeling your true essence, which feels amazing, and you think it's them, and now you're locked in. And some people will do this to you on purpose, and they know exactly what they're doing. Most people don't. They're just living life. And so you're not going to look. Plenty of fish in the sea, idea, cut off. That's strangled. Because you're in love. You gave your power to something. You're in love. You're not going to see anything else until you've had enough of those fallings in love and not working out to then realize, and then you use the internet and see all these beautiful girls that will give you these feelings. You look at them and just be like, oh, you're such a sweetheart. And you're just going by looks, right? And your intuition, which wasn't good for most of my life, but it's getting good now. And just, you just want to, you just look at it. We are a physical experience, and vision is a big part of it. So it's important. It's important. You're going to tell the bird who's doing his little dance. You see those birds with the blues, and they do this crazy dance for their little partner. That visual part of it is not important. We're the birds. It's important. It's important. Grow up, fuckers. It's important. You want that. And maybe people haven't had that before, where they just look at someone and they're like, holy shit. It's like getting hit by a fucking ton of bricks. Damn. Look at you. Let me stop. Kind of thing, you know what I mean? Anyway, damn, I'm just going off talking now. What I was going at is I know something's coming, and I cannot fucking wait. I can't wait. I'm ready to love somebody. Finally, at 42 years old, I'm finally ready to actually have a real relationship. And the kicker is, this is how it usually goes for most people. 30, 40, 50, and they're finally ready to have a real relationship. And now they realize everything else before was just teaching them. And now I'm ready. So now the universe will drop it into my lap, and I cannot wait. Whoever you are going to be loved so motherfucking hard. This world might spin off its axis. We might go spiraling somewhere else. I'm telling you. Get over here already. Anyway, enough of that. That's me when I'm getting into this mood. I can tell, I think the universe wants to baby from me or something. Alan Watts used to say, I liked it. He had a little saying where, when I was only the evil gleam in my dad's eye. You know what I mean? Your dad looking at your mom I want some of that. And that's you, the little evil gleam. Antoine, I'm going to come out into the world soon. When I was only the evil gleam in my dad's eye. I love that saying. That's a good saying. Some Blue Jay action. Evil gleam. So I feel the universe wants a baby out of me. Why else do I just feel this urge to be in a relationship, crazy. And just before that, before I got this job, I was good. I was like, no, we're good. Single for a while. I guess it's been a while. 7, 8 years, 9 years. Been in a job for 3 years. It's been at least 7 years, at least. I don't even think I want a baby. But I've never made up my mind about it. I could always go, 5% battery charge. I could always go either way. I didn't want a baby for the most part because I knew I wasn't set up for it. Living paycheck to paycheck, blah, 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 blah. Most people do that all the time. And then have all these kids. That's not going to be me. But things are looking up now. I'm feeling more free, better, ready to actually have a real transaxle, a mutual relationship where both people know who they fucking are. I can't wait. Let me shut this off before I'll do it at 59.9 before my battery runs out.